Attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. This is Armando from ALM. Glad to be here this beautiful Tuesday, September 15. Definitely another exciting webinar. Just wanted to take some time here with Amalia to introduce ourselves again and also thank the WSI global community from ALM for such a wonderful convention. All the ICs that we met, we had the time to share, laugh, learn. Definitely very happy that we had a very great convention, seeing everyone there. So, Amalia?
Yes, no, I just want to thank everyone as well, and it was really great reconnecting with everyone, seeing some old faces, and of course, meeting some new faces as well. And I think it was a really great turnout, and it was a great time. Yeah, so I'm glad we're starting off. I would like to say sort of like on in a new year per se, if you want to call it that. Yeah,
Yes, September tends to be a new year for everyone. It's like the net.
yeah,
It's like the second round or the second or third round, right? So, uh,
exactly.
one of the things that I didn't do was actually do a testing our audio. If you could just kindly let us know through chat that you can hear us, that would be awesome. So if you can uh, just let us know if you can hear. Okay, here we go. We're getting some answers. Okay, thank you, Mark. Glad to see you there, Brian, Daniel. Excellent. Yeah, it's really nice to once a year put again the voice and faces together, spend some time, and I know that the ICs were very welcoming and we're very gracious to be part of this global community. And Thank you very much. And at the same time, also thank you to the ICs that took the time to give us some positive feedback, some constructive feedback. It just makes ALM much stronger and gives us that motivation to work even harder for the IC community. So I think that that really helped. There's a huge name of individuals I would like to thank, from Mark and Kimberly, giving us acknowledging our efforts. Thank you very much, Heidi. Um, Gunner actually approached me and gave me some great feedback to make our our webinar so much better. And I do apologize that my voice is a little bit low today. As a matter of fact, the ALM team had a bit of an adventure getting back home. We were scheduled to leave on Sunday afternoon, and we just got home yesterday, Monday afternoon. There was a cancellation in our flight, issues everywhere. So we're a bit tired, but it was worth it. So again, if I know if I'm missing a lot of names that I spoke with, but I just from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for your support and look forward to continuing to help you deliver the best solutions for your clients. You have that in our commitment. So thank you everyone that actually approaches at our booth, and we're very, very thankful. So let's begin then. Latest news and articles. I guess one of the key things that came out of Google this week, and Amalia, I think that's regarding the structure markup may become a ranking factor. Maybe you want to tell us a little bit about that.
I certainly do. So yes, I just wanted to update everyone on this here. Basically, Google may add structured markup and data to ranking algorithms. Google hints that it may decide to use the structured data in rankings algorithms someday to the company, which they previously denied. Structured data and structured markup and rich snippets have always been about helping Google and search engines understand their content and potentially lead to Google marking your search results snippet richer, with the goal of increasing click-through rate from organic results to your page. Google has said that time and time again that these are not used in a ranking algorithm to make a web page rank better. Um, they have said that adding structured markup to your pages will not directly lead to your page ranking better in the Google search results. Um, but it has said that may change in the future. Also, Google representatives stated in the Google Hangouts, apparently that this is where the messages were at, that over time they think its structured markup is something that might go into the rankings as well. He said that Google currently doesn't use this for ranking purposes, but that over time Google may indeed start using it. They went on to explain the rationale around it, stating that if, they can recognize something as, like, let's say, for example, you're looking for a car, and they say, well, oh well, we have these pages that are marked up with structured data for a car, so probably they are pretty useful in that regard. We don't have to guess what page, if the page is about the car. Basically, they went on to say that they think in the long run that definitely makes sense to use structured data where you see that as being reasonable on the website. However, they advise to not assume that using the structured data markup will mark your site jump up in rankings automatically. So they will try to distinguish between a site that is done technically well and a site that is actually has good content. So I guess in time this is how they're going to start ranking. Armand, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, what we
Or
wanted to,
enable?
yeah, yeah. What I wanted to add was that the individual who was actually sharing this was John Mueller, who's kind of taking a little bit of a more of a forefront approach in representing Google. And basically, this was at a Google Hangout, and he did mention that this is something that they're looking for over time. So he is dropping some hints that structure data markup may become a ranking factor. What I've done here is I'm going to share with everyone, if you just give me a quick second, I'm going to share with everyone the actual YouTube link where he talks a little bit about this. You may want to hear it. It doesn't mean that Google structure markup is necessary today, but it's something that if you are working with your clients and and you are interested in structured data, which I'm actually showing a link of what structured data is, and I'm kind of going to go over it very quickly too as well. But in the Google Developers Forum, um, they talked a little bit about what Google structured data is all about, and our team actually uses some of this in some of our advanced or our actual adaptive SEO projects. And structured data markup, as Amalia has shared, is a standard way to annotate your content so machines, or in this case bots, can understand it. When your web page includes structured data markup, Google and other search engines can use the data to index your content better, present them more prominently in search results, and surface it in new experiences like voice answers, maps, and Google Now. So read this article. It's very important. This is something that's coming in the future. What I will always recommend in a case like this is that touch base with the SEO team all the time, your SEO team, uh, because you want to make sure that it may qualify for your client or it may not qualify, because it's not for every site. Or if there are different types of structured data snippets or rich snippets, right? So it doesn't mean that you have to have all of them. You may only need require a few ones. So the best way is to connect with your SEO team, discuss what are the benefits of having it today, and it is going to be something that will become, as Google say, may become, quote unquote, may become a ranking factor. So it's always good to do it. Google has been talking about this, and it's really to not only allow search engines to have easier availability or read of content, but also as a technical SEO component. I would like to also confirm that in our adaptive SEO packages, the WSI, overall the WSI consortium has developed, we do have some of these components, such as um, Open Graph Markup with Facebook, as well as oh, just the local structured data markup. We also have it also added to the sites. So the best way is to touch base. We can touch base with us offline or with your project coordinator, and definitely we can confirm what is the best way to add these structure markups, because there's a few different numbers of code that you can add to it. But anyhow, wanted to share that with you as well. Thank you, Amalia. I think the next one's also yours in regards to Google
Uh,
My Business apps.
Yes, yeah. So Google My Business app gets an update for Android and iOS version coming soon. Google has updated the Android version of the Google My Business app to completely redesign it while adding more features and functionality for business owners to manage their local business on Google Maps. The new design has already rolled out to the Google Play Store and should be rolling out to the iOS Apple App Store in the upcoming weeks. The new features will include the following: new editor design to match more of the Google search and Maps look, improved user interface to make business edits quicker and easier, support for business open 24 hours. It also shows you where by city, postal code, or radius. You can now quickly view your business on Search, Maps, and Google Plus with a single tap, and more insights on who your Google Plus posts are reaching, and basically more detailed feedback about your business information. So I thought that was really cool to share, and that's in the process. Armando, did you want to add to that as well?
No, just something that's an upgrade from Google My Business. So if you may want to encourage your clients
Yep.
who are very actively using Google My Business to check out the app, as it definitely gives them and their clients more flexibility with the new features. So thank you very much, Amalia.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, moving forward, we do have just one quick second here. We have another piece of news from actually this is from Search Engine Journal and a company called Recode, which is really a online magazine or online news magazine that focuses a lot on our industry. They reported that Google and Twitter are working together on their own instant article solution. Definitely, the whole goal is to have better content or distribution of content provided to mobile devices. They have these multiple sources. Again, it hasn't been confirmed by Google and Twitter, but the multiple sources have shared that the way it's going to work is that when people click on the links in either a Twitter feed or a Google search, full articles will pop up immediately versus waiting several seconds. So one of the key things is to improve the speed of downloadability. The other thing is that Google and Twitter will now actually host the content on their platforms. Instead, the instantaneous delivery will be accomplished by showing people cached web pages on publisher sites. This definitely makes a world of difference to content publishers because people will still be landing on their web pages and not on pages hosted by Google Twitter. So there are two things that will happen here. One of them is there's not going to be a loss of traffic, and the other also is not going to be a loss of ad revenue either. And if you have a client that potentially has a lot of content and they are really a publishing entity, whether it could be even a small one, this tool will definitely help them better serve the information and the content to the end client. It's something new. It's something also that Google wants to definitely Google and Twitter want to differentiate themselves, and the way they're going to be doing this is by allowing the platform to be open source. That means that other companies will be able to use it and build upon it. It is not very relevant perhaps right now to the to your end clients unless they're in the publishing industry. However, whenever there's an opportunity for Google and Twitter to help the end small and medium-sized business owners, I'm pretty sure that a lot will come out of this in the next few months. So keep that in mind. They're definitely working on this content delivery platform, and from our perspective, we'll keep you posted. Okay. Another interesting article that came out of Google Hangouts. This one I believe was from last Friday, and it's if you have the time. I mean, the Google Hangouts are definitely great places to learn a lot of technical SEO or SEO as a whole. If you are in a consultant that wants to become an SEO specialist and really practice SEO, the Google Hangouts are great places to be, and they have them pretty much once, I believe, every 2 weeks or so. Yeah, but once every 2 weeks. And again, in this specific Google Hangout, one of the questions that they had asked John Mueller, who is part of the uh, Google Search Console team and overall Google team, he did mention that the question was in regards to keeping your 301 redirects active for over a year. And a lot of people sometimes do these redirects, and after a while, they don't make these permanent, right? So if they're not permanent after a while, they actually get removed, right? So when they were asking him a little bit about his recommendation on 301 redirects, he did mention that the best thing to do is to do permanent 301 redirects in place, because he says that it can take up to 6 months to a year for Google to fully recognize a site has moved. Plus, you may have people finding old links, and if those links no longer have redirects, they may lead to a 404 page or park domain, which will result in a bad user experience as well. Now, regarding 301 redirects, I know that the production teams, we kind of focus and make sure that we keep an eye on any type of changes that are made through the 301 redirects to make sure that they are as smooth as possible. One of the interesting things that I found in this article, as well as in the YouTube Hangout, was that he did talk about the fact that it could take 6 months to a year for Google to fully recognize a site, right, that has moved. And although if you are using Google Search Console and you are updating your robot.txt, your files, your sitemap, you're also doing any type of Google fetching, even so, you want to make sure that you keep your 301 redirects in place for over a year. So I'm also going to share this specific, if you give me a quick second, I'm going to share this specific link with you. So that way you can definitely listen to um, the actual best business practice recommendation from John Mueller. Typically at ALM, we do focus on keeping your 301 redirects permanent because of the fact, as he mentioned, not only just Google's recognition of the site, but also the fact that people may find your client's old websites, old links, and want to make sure that they can get redirected to the right, to the right, to the right pages, new pages, right? Excellent. The other thing that we wanted to share today was actually an interesting article also from Search Engine Journal. They talk about 4 email marketing trends that we'll be able to see gear up in 2016. So we're already looking at next year, but if you can start, if you are in an IC who is running email marketing campaigns, I'm sure you're doing some of these best business practices. And if you're not, perhaps you want to kind of review these. And this is obviously based on experience as well. So one of the first things that they talk about is using a lightbox to grow your email list. Now, lightbox are basically pop-ups that you sometimes get from when you arrive at a site or a web page, and you kind of get a bit of a black shadow screen in the background, and something pops out. And these have been known to grow email lists 5 to 10 times faster than a traditional email sign-up field in a website, according to recent studies. So I've actually shared a screenshot here of what a lightbox does, and basically just puts the call to action right in front of your user. And many people may say, well, that could be annoying and I don't like that. However, if it's done properly and you have the right content added to it and with the proper strategy, it can definitely yield better results than just having, a traditional email sign up on a page, right? People sometimes don't see it. It's not the most important thing. Now, if you are in the business of growing your email, or your client is very, very, one of his primary objectives is to grow their email list. Definitely this is the best way to do it, because as visitors come, they get prompted to do that. Now, one of the more popular methods is to prompt the lightbox when a user's cursor scrolls off the page and into the browser. They call that the exit overlay, right? And we have all seen that, right? And then another method is to set a trigger for the lightbox based on scroll depth or time on page. So it doesn't have to be intrusive. That means that it doesn't have to, these light boxes don't have to pop up as soon as you arrive at a page. You could set it up in a way where as they scroll down the page, the light box is triggered, right? Kind of like a reminder, if you will, or a more of a call to action once you've captured your audience's attention, or or if you set it up with a specific timing on the page. So you may have to look at the average time on site or time on page when a visitor arrives, and set it up accordingly. So these are more, let's say, in-your-face approaches in having a light box. However, the key thing to take away from here is that if it's done properly, your list can grow 5 to 10 times faster. Now, one thing that I want to clarify too is not just the matter of the light box. The light box is just a feature. It's also the conversion content that you can add. And if you look at this example right away, you know, they're already telling me, let me just point at it. They're actually telling me that the light box just came up and I'm already 50% completed, right? So, and all I have to do to complete is just add my email address. So right out of the way, psychologically, I'm not thinking, oh shoot, this is going to be a long process. It's already telling me that I'm almost done. And then obviously the content, right? You know, and the call to action. What do you want them to do? In this case, 7 top tips to a better night's sleep. If I'm on a website where it's either I'm suffering from sleep disorder or any type of um, issues with sleeping, then this will be, this totally matters to me, and maybe I can get that. If it's a health website, the same thing. If it's a fitness website, the same thing. And we've seen these. So again, it's not a matter of just adding the light box. It's also a matter of adding the right content on the light box to create that conversion. Okay, in order for you to increase the number of conversions and decrease the number of people exiting the light box. So keep in mind that this may be something that you may want to add and test out, right, with your client's website. The other thing they talk about as is really making sure that you create your emails in a tool that is mobile friendly. Okay, so after the call, I know there's some questions that I'm getting from the Lightbox, and I will answer them as much as I can or after the webinar. But going back to the number 2, it says 2/3 of emails are now read on mobile devices, and that's very true. And according to Mobile Inc., they actually did a report for the U.S. consumer device, for a U.S. consumer device preferred report. They completed this report, and they highlighted that 60% of all email in the U.S. is now read on smartphones, and usage is not the only thing changing. The other thing that we have to keep in mind is that screen sizes for mobile devices or smartphones are actually getting bigger to accommodate video and gaming demands. So as a result, you want to make sure that you're using a tool such as Constant Contact, or let's say MailChimp or iContact. You want to use a tool that has that mobile friendly email delivery, right? Because sometimes there are some antiquated email marketing tools out there that still don't have mobile friendly newsletters or email delivery solutions, right? So make sure you have that. Now, one of the key things that you can do is by using your analytics program to see the devices your visitors are using, you can actually learn more about your readers, and it will help you and your team create a better email newsletter, email templates, including the responsiveness, the font size, and the location of your call to actions. So you can start now getting into conversion rate optimization for email marketing. And you can use some of the analytics programs that for example, email marketing services provide. The other thing is that you want to make sure that whatever you're doing in your email promotions for your clients or email marketing strategies, you want to keep your emails with as light as possible, meaning that you want people are expecting to get things faster and easier. Therefore, keeping that in mind, you want to make sure that you keep your emails very specific to the point, the message, simple and not too text heavy. Okay, so that's important. The content that you deliver on your email marketing has to be right to the point and very easy to read for your audience. And the second thing is that if there are large files like images or videos, make sure they don't cause poor load time, right? So as a matter of fact, the best way also to do this is, even, having more of a click away type of a service where, people can go to let's say a YouTube video if they click on it versus downloading from the actual email that you're sending. So keep that in mind. I think that the most important thing here is you're delivering the content. You're not giving them, you're not providing a whole article, basically just even a snippet or 50%, and then drive them to your website. So there's various ways of making sure that you capture that reader, and you're minimizing the exit rate. The other thing that they talk about, which is very important, is really the aspect of segmentation. Then, you want to be able to, as personalization will grow, a best practice is to make emails as highly relevant and relatable as possible. As you can see here from a recent e-marketing study published by Blue Hornet, there's a couple of things that you can definitely try to understand about the audiences, right? And the audiences that you are focusing on. For example, this is actually, I believe, for an email marketing campaign that was conducted. August 5th, 2015 was when the research was done. However, as you can see here, in regards to the types of advertising that you should be providing by age, 18 to 24, so 18 years and 24-year-olds, they definitely, 30% or 31% of them enjoy free shipping. So that's very important to them. Whereas 55 and 64, for them, is even more important. They want to see that 43%. This is for an e-commerce email promotion. The other thing that you will notice is that the 18 to 24-year-old segment, they rather have, for them, it's more important to have free shipping than a buy one get one free promotion. But you can see that the 35 to 44-year-old segmentation here, they're pretty they're very kind of in the middle on everything. Obviously free shipping is important to them, but they also like the fact of buy one get one free. Okay, and they also or dollars off, right? That's important to them, as well as the one for them is the percentage off. So if you're targeting this specific demographic, these are the way that you should be tailoring your email marketing promotions. So the whole key thing is that if you can get as much data as possible from your demographics, your audience, by using using some analytics and personalizing the content or the promotions, it can definitely give you better results on your email marketing campaign. Your email marketing campaigns. So personalization will continue to grow. So sometimes you may have to do different variations of that newsletter, right? And testing it. Obviously, testing is very important to make sure that you are hitting every demographic, right? So that's very important in regards to personalization. There was, I believe, one key thing that I kind of wanted to share in regards to this, and that I found very interesting. I believe it had to do with let's say free gifts with minimum purchase or loyalty referral programs. You can see that the younger demographic, it's not as important to them as, for example, the 25 to 34-year-olds, right? Obviously now they have a lot of purchasing power, so for them it's important to have referral programs, right? And also it's also equally as important to 45 to 54-year-olds. So very interesting how the demographic is definitely changed. So keep this in mind as you're working on your email promotions, because that's going to definitely help your client improve the performance of the email campaigns. Number 4, the very important is also detailed and consistent tracking. So definitely, third-party tools that I mentioned before, like Constant Contact, Eye Contact, MailChimp, and I mean, there's so many of them out there, whether it be for small, medium-sized businesses or solutions for enterprises. They do have their own analytics, right? And you can kind of use that to better understand how to improve your email marketing campaigns, your promotions, newsletters, etc. But if you want to impress investors or be able to make better decisions about your email strategy, you may also want to you may also want to set up a campaign tracking system. And Google Analytics is very good at doing this, and very easy to do. As a matter of fact, in the next coming weeks, we'll probably be bringing Darren, our marketing manager, to kind of help us do a mini tutorial of how to properly set it up in Google Analytics. But I did find it that even as you just adding a code such as you know, website.com to all of your links, right? That you're sending out, source equals email, it definitely will get tracked on Google. But there are definitely, if you are looking for more direct or more information, there is a way on Google Analytics to definitely track this. And you know, below I kind of have shared an example here of a campaign that was set up in Google Analytics. I don't have the time to go over it with you right now, but definitely it's something that's coming in the next weeks as we take a little bit more of a deeper dive into Google Analytics and doing different things. And one of the things that the team and I talked about was, you know, improving email tracking. But this is number 4. It's very important that don't just rely, you know, or you know, don't just. It's not about relying just on analytical information being provided by the third party services, email marketing services. It's also equally as important to track it in Google Analytics, right? So that's another trend that the author talks about here in Search Engine Journal. Okay, I actually came across a great article also in regards to organic search and how to better position organic search in your sales process. And this article is a great article to do that. So if you are going to be visiting a client, sorry, a new prospect that you know, they may not believe on SEO or organic search, they're only doing paid search or maybe just social media, and they're not using a whole integrated approach to digital marketing. Let's say they want to stay away from SEO because they've been burned so many times. This is a great article from a sales perspective, from an educational perspective that you can definitely use. This was actually on Search Engine Land a few days back, and definitely talks about the 4 key reasons why organic search is still better than any other, let's say, source of traffic being generated to your website. I do want to keep this a little bit. The overall strategy, at least with ALM, is to make sure that, you know, we always preach on having more of an integrated approach, right? Not just rely on SEO or just PPC, because you don't want your client to just see you as a PPC agency or an SEO agency or just a social media agency. The whole goal is for them to see you as a whole digital marketing agency that provides integrated solutions. But as you are educating them and taking them through that business consulting process and they are questioning SEO, this is something that you can talk to them. Equally as well, this is a great article for, let's say you're in a situation where you're working with a client and they're starting not to believe on SEO. Here are some gold nuggets that you can take away from this article. And it talks about number 1, obviously, SEO still being a champion of website traffic. Overwhelmingly organic traffic generates or drives 51% of all visitors for both B2B and B2C businesses, according to BrightEdge. They actually created a study in, I think it's 2014, so it's last year. I'm pretty sure it hasn't changed much, but that's a study that was created, and 51% of all visitors are still being driven by organic traffic. So let's begin. Organic is simply better for delivering relevant traffic. The only channel that performs better in some capacities is paid search ads. That is only for conversions, not overall traffic delivery. Paid search only accounted for 10% of overall total traffic because it costs money. But what's interesting is when you look at this chart here, for example, you can see that when you are dealing with business services, for them, you know, 73% of them see organic search as a top performer, meaning that that's where they're getting most of their traffic. So they're not generating traffic through display, email, or through paid search. As a matter of fact, if you can look at this specific graph, business services, paid search is in 3rd, 4th spot, but overwhelmingly organic search, you know, has 73% source as a source generator, right? As a generator generating SEO traffic. The second thing you can also see here that in all of the different areas that were surveyed, in reality, you know, organic, whether it's retail, media entertainment, as we mentioned, business, IT or technology internet related services or hospitality, organic search continues to be the predominant one, right? And there are some cases where paid search, for example, does increase, but still it gets overwhelmed by organic search. So statistically speaking, right, organic definitely generates more traffic, right? Obviously, when you're using paid search, you're paying for traffic. So unless you have deep pockets, you can actually attract more traffic. So that's a very important observation. Number two is you have no control. Now, in this specific article done by this company, they noticed that when auditing the sites, they found that a lot of the traffic that they were getting, as much as 40% to 60% of the traffic from Facebook. So they've been, uh, I guess the end clients have been focusing a lot on their social media strategy, and this type of traffic is sending their business through the stratosphere. However, their Google traffic is slow, and one of the observations based on the study is that is some of the lowest they've seen for sites of these kinds. So what you're looking at here is a bit of an unequal balance of traffic being generated to your website, which can be a positive or a negative. It can be a positive because obviously you're driving traffic, but you then have to say, okay, how much control do I have on this traffic? So they talk about, when you're using social media platforms for your site traffic, in reality, you are at the mercy of the platform. So if tomorrow, let's say, Facebook cuts organic viewing and you actually have to pay for it, right? Then it becomes paid, right? So you can no longer rely just on Facebook. If Twitter decides to segment the algorithm, how do you get, how you get seen? Then now again, that it's not in your hands. And if Pinterest removes all affiliate links, how do you replace that traffic? So when you don't have control over the environment that's driving your revenue, you may wind up with a hefty advertising bill to generate traffic that is lost when the company changes how the platform surfaces your content. Now, people can say, well, isn't that what Google is doing through the different changes? But still, even though Google has over the time, it continues to place importance on their paid search campaigns, or even Yahoo or Bing, right? Let's say putting a good of a lot of their efforts and prime real estate on the search engine result pages, and above the fold really focuses on paid search, right? So it is important. People are still looking for organic. People are still searching for organic, and Google continues to keep organic there, right? It's not like Google's only relying on paid search. They understand that they still have to rely on organic search as part of their the service that they offer, right? Or yeah, service that they offer today to the world. So having said that, there's a little bit of more control, right, of generating traffic versus companies like Facebook or Twitter, where they can definitely switch the rules around much faster. You know, Google has been around for a long time, right? I mean, over 15 years, and so Google AdWords, sorry, has been around, but Google hasn't really made a change in regards to the whole overall strategy for providing a service to the end user, right? They haven't made it just solely on paid advertising. So, and I don't think it's going to change either. The third reason why organic search is better is in regards to the stickiness, so the type of traffic that you're getting. And based on the study that was done by this company, they talk about social media and paid search ads might be traffic generators, right? However, you have to you have to see the fact that what they also found was that the bounce rates are usually high and the number of pages visited can be very low. What does that mean? That means that you may be running a campaign on Facebook or Twitter, or any of the other social media properties, and when they get to your website and they read what they have, it seems to be that the bounce rates are high and people are not sticking around. And they found that Facebook is meant to drive article visits, not overall site traffic and customer loyalty. So, if they read an article or at least a blurb of a article or blog post on Facebook, they're just going to do that and typically leave. They're not going to continue to visit your website overall, right? And it doesn't engage the user to the level where you can create customer loyalty. Twitter is meant to promote customer loyalty, not create post traffic. Again, fast, easy in and out. Go to the site, get what you have to do, and exit. Pinterest users hardly leave the site unless you're selling something, right? And in that case, paid ads are offering the user a reason to come visit, but not necessarily a reason to come back. Whereas organic is a little bit different because what you're doing is you're matching keywords to user intent, which means that you know you're kind of serving what they're looking for. So the users may find you consistently, and once they get to your site, they are more likely to stay. Organic users are still your best long-term customers, and that's what you have to drive to your end clients, is that organic is still very important because you want to create those long-term customers. They have lower bounce rates and more pages visited, and they are more likely to return. So again, these are three KPIs that are important for any business owner who's doing digital marketing, because you want to look at your ROI, how far your advertising dollars go or your ad spend goes. And in this case, although we're not doing paid advertising, but let's say you're investing on a SEO campaign, organic is definitely you know is definitely much better. If you want, and the other key thing that they talked about is that if you want to sell something or gain brand awareness, social is definitely an excellent channel. If you want people to find your store and remember you, organic is the way to go. So it does definitely create more customer loyalty. There seems to be more of a connection there. The other thing that they talk about is obviously diversification. Because again, you don't just want to focus on SEO, so you don't want to swing the pendulum. It's a matter of balancing it. But with the whole movement in social media and increasing usage in social media, people only want to focus on social media campaigns. And I've worked with many ICs where we're pitching to companies the SEO services, and they don't want to hear about it. They just want to focus on social. It's really about doing a blend of SEO, social, paid, and even email marketing, right? So there's a whole strategy behind it. But organic is one of the strongest of these um, of these um, um, of these types of traffic generation. Sorry about that. And here, you know what? You can look at the fact that when you look at the share of social generated e-commerce revenue, yes, Facebook is very important. As you can see, Facebook continues to be very dominant, according to B1 Intelligence, this Business Insider Social Commerce report. So social media is good. However, it definitely, this is more for e-commerce revenue. If you're looking at long term, you want to make sure that you're doing a combination of SEO. The next thing which is important, which I kind of already briefed upon, is that the level of investment. The issue with pay referral sources, whether it's Google AdWords or Facebook advertising, is that the moment you stop feeding the meter, the moment you stop generating traffic. So if you stop advertising, you definitely will see an instant dip in traffic. The ratio of retained visitors from paid, right, is very low according to the study. When you're paying for your traffic, it's like renting. You get an immediate action, but there's no long-term buy-in from most of the visitors you get this way. With organic research, however, the mindset is different. This is what you have to explain to your clients, that the user is looking for you, or at least what you sell, what you offer, what you publish. So when they find you, if you're able to provide them with excellent experience, they're more often to come back. If you are an unknown brand, repetitive appearances across results can start to increase brand recognition and brand loyalty. So here we're looking at not just exact matches or one keyword phrase optimization, but looking at long tail optimization as well. The other key thing that they talk about that is that there is a certain level of flexibility in your investment, kind of like the push and pull advertising, right? Advertising expenditure model, where let's say you're running a campaign that for September, back to school campaign, or let's say for Halloween, and in October your client does not want to do as much SEO. You can pretty much have some level of flexibility in saying, okay, well, if we are spending, let's say, $500 on SEO this month, maybe we should spend only 350. So there's a level of flexibility where, even though you are kind of putting a bit of a pause on your SEO for a short term, not a long term, short-term pause, you're definitely not going to suffer, meaning that your organic traffic is not going to tank. Okay, unless the only thing is if two things will happen. If you definitely decide to your client decides to stop SEO for a long time, obviously that's negative because they'll start ranking, and because the competition is going to start taking over, and so on. So they'll start losing traffic. But if you only do it for about 3 or 4 weeks because you want to put some of that money into another advertising source, it should be okay, right? So, like again, you may decide to take an organic break and shift the money into an immediate last-minute sales through paid advertising. If your website, has been properly SEO'd, you shouldn't have any problems, right? However, if you leave that a pause for a while, a long time, then that's not recommended because obviously competition will start creeping on you and will out jump you in the rankings. So definitely very important to keep that in mind with your clients that with SEO there is also a level of being able to manage the investment. And we've seen that before where clients, they're doing very strong on SEO, and due to other outside external factors beyond them, the director of marketing will tell us, okay, you know what, I want to cut my SEO to 25%. Definitely you have to consult them. You want to make sure that whatever they're cutting or they're wishing to cut, it's not going to impact them. But there is flexibility in regards to levels of investment. Okay, excellent. Malia, I think hopefully you're still with me. I know that we have some questions here, and I'm trying to get to the questions.
Yes.
But
Yeah, I'm still here.
yeah, so while we talk about the questions, perhaps you can say a little bit more about the post-global convention promos that we're running. If ICs are interested, definitely let us know, and we can definitely send you more information. But maybe you want to talk about the SEO and the WSI video
Yeah,
promotion.
absolutely. Right now we're offering free SEO setup for our basic plan, inclusive to our ASO bronze. Once again, the SEO setup will be at no charge. Inclusively, we did launch the new video that we did air just, what was that? I believe it was yesterday, sorry, on Sunday. And we actually had a really good turnout and much interest. So if you're interested in finding out how to get a hold of that video for yourselves, we can edit to show, obviously your business information. Just contact myself or Armando, and we'd be more than happy to help you and provide you that information. Okay?
Yeah,
Great.
actually about the video, I know we got a lot of feedback, and right now, because it was a bit of we actually finalized the production a little bit late on Friday. We are going to be able to customize the video in the end, where the IC is able to put their name and brand it, and that's number one. We should have that information for the ICs by today in regards to pricing on, and in reality, if our goal is for you to be able to just customize that one slide, the end slide, put your name, branded, etc. Other ICs have asked us, well, okay, you know what, right now it seems that you have a flower shop, which is a B2C example. We may be able to do a B2B example. However, you know what, we have to find out, okay, if you want a B2B, okay, you want somebody in the IT field, somebody in the business services field, somebody in the financial. So we're going to gather a little bit of data on a one-to-one from the ICs before we move to making those changes. So hopefully we should be able to customize that as well. Obviously, we'll provide pricing because this component takes a little bit more time to customize. So to answer the question, yes, you will be able to customize that. We will be able to customize that video to your WSI branded name. We have a few questions here in regards to, is there a tool to measure email load time? Definitely will touch base with the team, Mark. Definitely we'll have them provide you with an answer in regards to this tool. Amalia will reach out to you. Also as well, Patrick, in regards to recommending a good Lightbox software. There's so many out there. Definitely we'll have that tool set up. I know that some people may say, well, it's a little bit irritating to have a Lightbox pop up every time, but as you can see that in some cases it definitely provides 5 to 10 times more results than just having a hidden news sign up newsletter to your in your website, right? So again, I'll have that for you. The other question is, are there a trend to more simple email signature? Are graphics still okay, such as the WSI signature banners? What is the preferred signature? Yes, there's still, you know, the key thing for mobile is that you want to make sure that whatever banners you're doing or whatever graphics that you're doing, they're also adapted for mobile, right? So you may want to test it as opposed to when you're doing and doing your test of your newsletters, not only just looking at your desktop, but also take a look at your mobile and see and see how it's showing up. So there's two things that you have to keep in mind. One is how it displays on your mobile, and two, how fast it downloads. Because in some cases, if it's a large file, obviously it's not going to get such great results. So I still think that right now I'm working with one of the ICs that's doing some email marketing, and we're finding that the WSI signature banners are working because obviously it helps with the WSI brand. So I wouldn't necessarily get rid of them. So thank you. I think those are the questions. Again, thank you for taking the time to be in with us this morning. A lot of exciting things coming up in the next few weeks. We managed to have really some great conversations with ICs, giving us some feedback in regards to the webinars. We're going to have some suppliers. As a matter of fact, I'm also hoping to bring suppliers that not only can just talk to us about their services, but also specifically about their field. I spoke with John McKenzie, who probably you have spoken from Integrity Leads, and he's definitely willing to share best business practices with the consultants in regards to better appointment booking techniques or how to qualify your appointments. So he'll be with us probably in the next 1 or 2 weeks. We'll keep you in the loop of that, and I also will have members from other suppliers with us, and there's some surprises coming along the way, so we will keep you posted. Have yourself a great week. Once again, thank you for a great time at the Global Convention, and we look forward to continuing to work with you. Amalia, any final thoughts from your side before we end?
Oh, no, just want to thank everybody for joining our webinar today. And once again, if you have any questions, please revert to myself or Armando in regards to any of the promos or videos. And we look forward to next week.
Yeah, also just a quick, before I sign off, I know that some of you have sent us emails in the last day or so. We're not ignoring them. We hope to get back to you today. Sorry for the delay. As I said, we were delayed in Miami for an extra day, which wasn't fun. We wanted to get back to our families and our in our daily work. So we're 1 day behind. Just bear with us. We'll try to get in touch. If it's a huge priority, feel free to reach out to us directly via Skype, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Once again, have yourself a great week, and we will be in touch. Thank you once again. Bye.
Bye-bye.